Hey guys, Danielle Collins here, just reporting on the month that was February. Thanks for joining me. Jumping straight into sales, guys, at the time of recording this, we're sitting on 82 recorded properties on realestate.com. As always, we see a larger proportion in South Hedland to a much smaller proportion sitting in Port Hedland. When it came to under offers, February, even though only a short month, was a super busy month. We saw 43 recorded properties go under offer on realestate.com. Happy to record that 33 of those were conducted by Hedland First National. Our team did 14 of those. It was a really active month. We saw a lot of investors, in fact, but super busy. Open homes are busy, schools back, busy, busy, busy. When it came to settlement, guys, I saw 11 settlements for the month of February, 4 of those to owner occupiers and the rest to investors. So a really interesting month when it came to investment. Well done and congratulations to those that were lucky enough to have their forever happy settlement day here in Hedland. The photos are on your screen. Just quickly, guys, before I jump into leasing, I've actually been away this month for a few weeks, but I have just come back and I'm super excited to announce that I have been awarded 2 pretty amazing awards. The first one's Rate My Agent. Now, this is an independent, verified, basically reviews. You have to leave good or bad reviews about what your feeling is with dealing with myself, my team, and Hedland First National. Now, this is my 8th year in a row of taking out Rate My Agent, not only for Port Hedland, South Hedland, and the region, but I also came 10th in all of Western Australia and 44 in all of Australia. So thank you, as always, for putting us on the national stage and for leaving and taking the time to leave the reviews, because I really do appreciate the feedback. And the second award, guys, our First National Group held their state WA State Awards in Perth while I was away. My team were there in spirit. I did send a bit of a video out on this only last week. Happy to announce I came 2nd in all of Western Australia. Number 1 did get taken out by an amazing Perth agent named Rob. So well done, Rob, on taking the top spot. But I'm really, really excited to represent the Pilbara and come number 2 in all of the states. So again, it wouldn't be possible without you guys. So thank you so much for trusting us to list and sell your homes. Jumping into leasing, guys, at the time of recording this, we're sitting on 86 recorded properties on realestate.com for rent. As always, we see most of that stock sitting in South Hedland to a smaller amount sitting in Port Hedland. The team did 21 executed leases for the month of February, and 2,200 was our highest lease. This was for a 5x3 double-storey home in Cook Point, stellar result. And our cheapest lease was 525, and this was for an older 80s built 1x1 unit. So the rents are still very stable, very consistent, and it was a very active month for the team. Touching quickly on industry news, guys, as always, I'd encourage you to jump onto my Facebook page. Everything is there live and in a lot more detail for you to review. The month of February was all about strikes. Whether it was BHP train drivers striking or Qantas striking, very interesting. Lots of industrial action going on the ground, just basically saying we want fairer terms, we want more money, etc., etc. I know that the BHP train drivers did threaten that at the very final moment an agreement was reached, but they were talking about walking off the job and stopping all train movements, which would have been critical for up to 24 hours. So that was massive. That's now been resolved, thankfully. And we also saw Qantas. This is a really big one. When you think of how remote Port Hedland is, when Qantas stops flying, it suddenly becomes a real predicament. Myself, having going overseas this month, I was impacted by the changes. So that's still going, and that's been a month-long strike. So anyone flying in or out of the region, really be aware of time and maybe allocate a little bit extra time, because those strikes are very real and impacting everyday running around. We also, while we're talking about train drivers, we actually saw 2 train derailments. Interestingly enough, both were autonomous trains, so they didn't actually have drivers in them. Thankfully, no one was hurt. One by FMG and one by Rios. So really interesting. That's obviously put a setback in both their monthly records, but yeah, 2 derailments in 1 month in the region, not too great. Finally, guys, Pilbara Port authorities have generously donated over 200k to upgrades to the marine safety hub. Basically here, it's quite an old building in the older part of town, and you know, the marine safety is such a critical thing, not only because of the size of the vessels that we have here, but also the recreational side of things as well. So that's really cool to see, and there's a lot around that generous upgrade and what's going on with that. And guys, just before we wrap up, finally we have a baby. I said that to my husband this morning and he looked at me funny. Not my baby, Antoinette's baby. One of my assistants, Antoinette, if you've had the privilege to know her or work with her, she has literally overnight just had her second child, a little boy that she named Rome. We're so excited to meet him. Would you believe this superstar was literally still working in the office yesterday as she was labouring away? What a superstar. So just for the next few weeks and months, please bear with us as it's Sharon and I obviously taking over the workload, just so that Antoinette gets that time with her new baby, and we wish her all the very best. Moving forward, guys, if we can help you with any of your property goals, whether it's sales, leasing or commercial, we'd love to help you, and we look forward to seeing you again next month.